my nerd geeks and dorks. Welcome to Raddcast. We're back. The podcast where your nerd card is accepted.
It's our first show in October.
Yes. And with me today, I just fucked that up. With me today, as always, is my friend and co-host. We have Adam. Or I should
Hello.
say it all scary like since it's October and it's Halloween. Adam. Okay, that sounded kind of more pedophile-y than what it did scary, I guess.
Say, that sounds like a pretty good.
Right.
You want to come in and help me out with that? You want a popsicle? I wish I could actually do that voice.
Get your fat ass down here.
That's better than mine. Yeah, so housekeeping notes, which I don't know if it's really housekeeping notes since we're a podcast, but just to let everybody know what we're doing, what's going on.
Yes.
Have you been busy?
I've been busy. Have you been busy?
I've been busy.
You've been having work lately.
Yeah, I've been having work. So, just because of the way things have been going lately, we're gonna cut the podcast down to a half hour shows, and we're gonna get them done when we can get them done. We've been kind of hardcore about getting them out week by week. As much as we've been able to do that, it's just like after a while it just kind of takes your toll, and I'm tired. So we're gonna go to whenever we can at a half-hour show. So if you watch us or if you listen to us consistently, and you've noticed we haven't had a show out for a few weeks. So this is kind of why we're just busy. Life
gets in the way. If we could do this for a living, we would, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't do it for a living. So
speaking of living, so there's a couple of things that we're going to do to help out. No more mid-roll commercials in the middle of a half-hour show. There's no need for a half-hour show to have mid-roll commercials. So you'll get the commercials if you're watching us. You'll get the commercials in the front, and that's it. Because I don't feel like it's fair for people to get mid-roll commercials through a half-hour show. And secondly, we're going to drop most of our sponsors, probably with the exception of Audible, because I think it's fair to them.
But no, that works. Yeah.
So that's
and I love Audible. So
that's the only reason why we're keeping Audible is because Dave is a member and
Yeah.
And Dave likes them and uses them. So and they are a great service, and we actually fully support what Audible does. So but we're not going to push it as hard as like we have been. Like if you listen to the show, it's different from watching the show. We have different commercials for different media types. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yes.
So so you won't get us pushing Audible like we used to, but you can still visit audibletrial.com/radcast and get a 30-day free trial if you wish. But we're not going to be pushing that hard like we used to, or have that on the ads and stuff like that. So that's just sort of the note that we're going to make. Let people know what's going on, because there's when stuff like right now, especially on the internet, there's been like some big things changing. The Nostalgia Critic isn't around anymore. Like he quit. The Game Heroes, they're stopping their thing. So like there's a lot of people that are stopping their like internet presence or changing around what they do. So we're not with that group by any means, but we're changing just because we need to change.
Cool.
But today is a specific type of episode, isn't it, Dave?
Yes, it is. It's a super special episode where I get to talk Celebration 6. I almost said Celebration 5, and holy crap, dude, that was 2 years ago. Over 2 years ago.
I screwed up.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
It's not super bad.
I hit record?
I did not hit record on the computer.
Oh.
But it's recording on that, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's just hope that audio on that is good, so.
So we'll go.
Yeah.
Now we sound better. But, no, man, As you know, this is pretty much our first show back since I got back from Celebration. We did one, but it was with the Super Knocked Up guys, and they didn't want to hear about my trip to Celebration. So
that was more about them than us.
Yeah, exactly.
But hello, Super Knocked Up crew.
Exactly.
They were
you guys.
really
you guys were
super
freaking awesome, and just
it was a really fun time.
It was. But yeah, man, got back, went to Celebration 6, got back. It was an amazing time. Actually, on the trip out there, I pretty much just about every T-shirt that I own is a Star Wars T-shirt. And whenever I woke up that morning, I threw on what I like to call my Chewbacca tuxedo T-shirt.
So just for people who aren't familiar with Celebration.
Okay, what Celebration is this last one was technically Celebration 6. If you really count them all, it's Celebration 8. But Celebration 6 in the United States, they have also done a Celebration Europe and a Celebration Japan. And actually, they will be having Celebration 2 Europe next year in June. It's either June or July. I'm not 100% sure. It's one of those J months in the summer. But it's going to be in Germany. And
so Celebration is
a huge Star Wars convention.
There you go.
Yes. Well, I've mentioned that quite a few times on the show anyways, but yeah, it's a huge Star Wars convention, and pretty much what it is like, think of it this way, as you go to some place like Disneyland or Disney World, and it's like walking into the world of Disney. That's what Star Wars Celebration is. We're talking life-size sets, Jabba's palace, snow speeders, not life-size AT-ATs, but close enough to it. TIE fighters, man, it's amazing. It's one of those things that I say, if you're somewhat of a Star Wars fan, you can go and just be in awe the whole time that you're there. You can go all 4 days, and you will completely and totally love it, and it'll probably amp up your Star Wars fandom by 100%. But, yeah, so got there, or left on Wednesday, and get on the flight, and like I said, I'm wearing my Star Wars Chewbacca tuxedo T-shirt, and you know what I'm talking about. Those tuxedo T-shirts is, hey, I'm ready for the party. It's a tuxedo T-shirt, whatever, but it makes you look like you're Chewbacca instead.
So it's got like the bandolier.
Yeah, it's got the bandolier and looks like it's got fur, but it's not fur. It's just printed on the screen print.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm wearing that and sitting there, and guy gets on the plane a little bit after us, and he's like, hey, did you see him up there? And I was like, see who? And they're like, Peter Mayhew. Chewbacca's on our flight. So we actually flew out to Orlando with Peter Mayhew on the flight. So that was pretty cool. And then there was a whole, I don't know. I don't want to make any accusations, but like the guy that who was our flight attendant was very friendly with me. And he liked to come by and talk to me a lot. And it reminded me of Come Fly With Me.
Fargo.
Yes, it reminded me of Come Fly With Me. If y'all haven't seen that, you should watch it. It's from the guys that did Little Britain.
I think it's still on Netflix. I hope it is.
Yes.
Because Little Britain's not on there anymore. And I'm like, oh, so bummed. That's a culture. That's a cultural show that has to be watched by Americans.
It does. But he one of the things he came up to me is, he first saw me, he's like, that's the coolest shirt. And I was like, thanks, man. And then about, 10 minutes after we get up to cruising altitude, they come by with the drink cart and all like this type of stuff. And then he comes by later to me and he's like, well, you win the contest. And I was like, oh, yeah, what's that? He goes, you have the coolest shirt on the flight. And like, it was like a Star Wars flight too. Let me just go ahead and add that, because about 90% of the T-shirts that people were wearing on that flight were all Star Wars T-shirts. So it was like the Flight 2 celebration. It was fucking cool, man. It was just really, really neat. But yeah, so I got a big bag of nuts. But
fitting.
Right? But get out there, and like I said,
it's just won the coolest shirt. Right. Here, have a big bag of nuts.
Yeah. Well, I got choices, and I couldn't think of anything at all. I was like, let me get the spicy nuts, the spicy sack of nuts. But so we get out there, and like I said, it's Wednesday. Blah blah blah. I won't bore you with the details of how we rented a car and went and got stuff for breakfast and blah blah blah. But anyways, the next morning we woke up bright and early. and went to Celebration for the first day. And then that was I took my brother with me. My brother went with me, and it was like one of the coolest, most funnest vacations I've ever been on. And it was his first convention, so I was kind of prepping him in a little bit. I was like, dude, get ready. We're going to be standing in line a lot.
There's a lot of lines.
There's going to be a lot of lines.
There's people touching you.
And there's going to be people touching you, and you're going to get upset because people are going to cut you off. You're going to get bumped into. You're going to stand in line. You just got to, kind of keep your cool. And I got to say, he did really, really good. So I never heard him lose his cool once inside the convention.
I think as
center.
long as
So it was
as
really
long
kinda
as
neat.
somebody gives you some sort of like, okay, here's the warning.
Yeah. But
I think people are cool because you kind of gave me that speech for Alcon.
yeah.
You're like, look, there's people going to be running into you. There's people with costumes who are going to poke your eyes out with fucking wings.
Yep. And people can't see most of the times in their costumes either, so you just kind of roll with it, and just be like, it's all good. But anyways, we get there, and the line to get in is just massive. It's ridiculous. I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to tell you the parameters of the room that they just herd you into and line you up just to get in. So this is a line to get in, and is huge and is awesome, and just the whole convention center itself. It was there at Orange County Convention Center there in Orlando, and it is the second largest convention center in the world. So that gives you any idea. It is massive. It is ridiculous. And so we start off Thursday, pretty much all day Thursday. We didn't even hit a panel on Thursday. We just kind of walked everything, trying to figure out where everything was, and it takes all day to just kind of map out where everything is and get the feel of like the convention and stuff like that, and kind of realize, oh, okay, this is there, and oh man, just amazing. Some great Lego displays. I can't remember the name of the group. There was a group that was out there, and I do have footage of this. I lost a lot of my footage somehow. I don't know what happened. The only thing I can think of is that whenever I went through the X-ray machine, it kind of screwed up my camera just a little bit. But I was able to keep some, and I'm trying to put something together. But yeah, man. I wish I could remember the name of the group that had these Lego displays, man, because they were amazing. It was just really cool. You're going to hear me say that a lot. It was just really cool, But the first thing I did on Friday was we got inside, and I learned my lesson from Celebration 5. I was like, okay, dude, I'm going to go ahead and go get my autograph tickets. So I bought 3 autograph tickets. I bought Luke Skywalker, a.k.a. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, a.k.a. Princess Leia. Okay, I just did that backwards. And then I got Anthony Daniels, who is also C-3PO. So I bought those 3 autograph tickets, and I was like, okay, cool, I should be good, blah, blah, blah. I've got the main people that I want to get. Did that, and I went and picked up my first exclusive, which is this awesome lightsaber poster tube. And I'm trying to get it
Boosh.
here. Yes, trying to get it here on camera for you to see it. But
Which they'll be able to see that pretty well, actually.
Yes. It is actually adjustable. If you notice here, it can pull out. I still have the poster inside there too, so it slides in and out. It's really, really cool. Looks like Darth Vader's lightsaber. The cap down here comes off. As you can see, my poster's still in there. And yeah, man, that's one of my the first exclusive that I picked up there at the show, and it was done by Acme Archives and FX Collectibles. And you've heard me talk about FX Collectibles before, but they
Let me. I got some questions for you.
Oh, okay, go right ahead. Man.
From a Star Wars fan, but does not understand the lettering on the switches.
Yes.
BESE. Do we know what those are?
I'm sure somebody out there does somewhere, but I haven't read the book on the schematics or anything like that yet. So I'm assuming.
Because are those actually on the saber?
Yes, those are actually on the saber. In fact, my Master Replicas saber has those on them.
Okay.
Also. Yes. But It's the end is it's mainly just all hard cardboard with like
It's very
a
thick.
vinyl.
Would you say like a quarter of an inch, maybe half-inch thick?
Oh yeah,
Cardboard?
yeah. It's very thick cardboard with like a vinyl coating over top of it. I paid $20 for it. It kind of stinks because the last day of the convention they were selling those for $10. But it's one of those that it's like I got it mainly to transport around my poster that I was getting autographed.
Well, and this will last a while as long as you don't get it wet or.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those that I can take to a convention still, and people see it and they're like, "Hey man, that's really cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I got it at Celebration 6. It's awesome." But that was also I want to say they had these available at San Diego Comic-Con maybe.
Possibly, being as they get all the good stuff.
Exactly. But went and picked that up and was still fighting the crowds. And, that first day while you're there, you're trying to kind of get a little bit of a feel, but yet you're kind of rushing around trying to get the awesome exclusives and blah, 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 whatnot. So
Yeah, you don't have the time to, like, take your time with stuff. You got to, like, get the layout and then find out, like, where I need to be at for the next couple of days.
And with the convention of this size, it takes a full day just to get the layout, just to kind of get your bearings. And even still, a lot of times, whenever me and my brother were going to a panel, we're like, "Oh, that's in room 316. Where the hell are we? We're at 335. Which way do we need to go?" It's just, oh man, the place is just huge. It's huge and it's oh god, dude,
big.
It's really really cool.
It's huge.
Yeah, I usually don't hear people say that to me. But my second place that I went to right after that, because it was right next to it, was the Diamond Select booth, and I picked up this guy right here. I actually already have one Boba Fett bust bank, but this one was the show exclusive, and you can't see that tag, but I'll read it off. It actually just says Star Wars Celebration 6, number 34 of 250. And I'll hand that over to you because I've already taken quite a few ganders at it.
Okay, so explain the difference between this bank and the one that you have.
Okay, the one that I have already is done in the Empire Strikes Back coloring. This is Return of the Jedi coloring. As you notice here on his gauntlets are green instead of red. The jumpsuit is actually, or flight suit, whatever you want to call it.
Speed suit.
Yes, is a little bit darker color than the one from Empire Strikes Back. And also the jetpack, the missile in the jetpack is also a different color. The one on the Empire Strikes Back suit I think is like a goldish color or whatever. I don't have that one sitting in here right now. So those are the most visible things. Also the red stripe on the what would you call that, cape?
Let's call it a cape.
Yeah.
It's technically a towel, but it's
right. Yeah, the original prototype Boba Fett costume for that piece right there, the cape or whatever, was actually a Star Wars beach towel. So
that they had bleached out.
A little bit of useless information. Supposedly on some of the old photos, you can still see where it kind of says Star Wars on it and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was day one. Pretty much trying to get the lay of the land, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, what the hell we're doing, trying to find, like I said, cool ass exclusives. Like my brother and I both got one of these, and with Diamond Select, especially with their anything really Diamond Select does, they're amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I have that Diamond Select Iron Man, Captain America. It's a Steve Rogers Iron Man.
Yeah,
which is. That's like two of my favorite characters. Like I'm not so much Captain America, but I'm a super huge Iron Man fan. But just having like the Steve Rogers Iron Man concept, the story behind that concept, I'll go real quick because we're mostly talking about Star Wars here.
No, that's cool.
The story behind that one is that there's two different sets. There is an Iron Man 12-inch figure that is sort of Tony Stark's tribute to Steve Rogers when he died after the Civil War stuff happened in the Marvel comics. The other one, the Diamond Select Marvel statue, is the reverse concept of what if Tony Stark had died, and this would be what Captain America had done to kind of pay tribute. Because even though they were both those two were the leaders of the fighting forces or whatever.
Yeah,
it was Stark versus Rogers. They both still liked each other. They still had respect for each other. So I have the Diamond Select Steve Rogers tribute, the what if version of that, basically. But they almost look exactly alike. But anyway,
Cool.
that's the story behind
But
that.
yeah, Diamond Select products. I mean,
Good stuff.
yes, the paint applications on Diamond Select products are amazing,
Especially on these busts.
Yeah, these bust banks are just. It's. I mean, it's. I can't even really. I don't have a word to explain it other than it's amazing. But anyways, moving on. Okay, on the next day, Friday. I was trying to think of what day. There was one day, I think it was Saturday. It's been a while now. But Saturday, I spent all day in line Saturday. But I'm jumping ahead. Let's do Friday. So Friday, we get there. Same thing. We get there early in the morning before the convention opens. And what do we do again? We stand in line. Massive lines. We stand in the line and we try to get in. And I don't have a total for the attendance per day or whatever, but it just, as the days went on, Thursday wasn't bad, Friday got worse, Saturday was ridiculous, and then kind of Sunday tapered off just a little bit. But that's the way it goes with any convention, really. But man, Friday we get in, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now, but we get in and mainly just kind of did some shopping for a few because there was panels that we wanted to go hit. We went and hit the Hasbro panel and got lots of really good, really cool information. Again, that's another thing that I'm working on. I've been sucky with these things, man. But I'm working on putting that together. I've been having trouble with the editor and work, pretty much. As what we said, life gets in the way.
Yep.
But
we wish we could be geeks 24/7.
dude, that'd be just glorious.
Just wallow in the gear and just be like,
right.
Ah.
And crap, I'm trying to remember what day it was that we went to the 3D panel on. I can't remember if that was Friday or Saturday. But anyways, Friday we went and did the Hasbro panel and a bunch of other things. I want to say Friday. I can't remember if I picked up autographs on Friday or not. I'm sorry, guys. This is, like we said, it's October, and this was August. So it's a late update show, but neither one of our schedules has been combined to where we could actually sit down and do this. But so let's just skip back by Friday and go straight to Saturday. Well, Saturday was awesome because Saturday I wound up picking up. I stood in line all day Saturday and all day Sunday just trying to get autographs, man.
Now, how long is Celebration?
Celebration runs from. It's a 4-day convention. It went from Thursday through Sunday, and it started opened up every day. I want to say around 10 a.m. and then closed every day around 7, except for on Sunday where it closed at 5. But and it's man, just I cannot. I cannot even stress to anybody and how long I waited in line for things, man, because that's all I did on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Saturday I picked up most of my autographs. I got Mark Hamill on Saturday. I also got Kenny Baker on Saturday. And then I went ahead and paid for a couple of extras. I wound up getting Ben Burt.
Yay!
Yes, the sound guru. If you don't know who Ben Burt was, he was the master sound technician, I guess is what you could call him.
I kind of felt bad at Comic-Con because no one was talking to Ben Burt.
Dude,
I would have gone to talk to him, but I was so nervous because he's the dude who kind of got me into sound.
Yeah, he is pretty much almost like a god in his field. If you really want to break down to it, and it's like
sound design.
Yeah, sound design. He came up with the sound for the lasers, the lightsaber.
He took like a wrench, wasn't it a wrench?
Yeah, he took a wrench and hit a guide wire on a telephone post. And after I found that out as a child, dude,
guess what we were doing?
Yeah, exactly. Sitting there,
yep.
Like me and my brother would actually sit there next to the damn telephone pole in our front yard and hit those guide wires and pow pow. It was awesome. But yes, my parents would never get us batteries for our toys because my dad worked nights and they were loud. I'll just come out and be honest about it. But so Saturday I got Ben Burt, and then I also wound up picking up. Did I say I picked up Kenny Baker's autograph
Yeah,
also?
so
Okay,
Kenny
yeah.
Baker.
I picked up Kenny. Well, those were the two extras that I bought. I bought Kenny Baker and Ben Burt, but I also waited in line, got Mark Hamill, and finally cashed in my Anthony Daniels ticket. Anthony Daniels, if you've never met him and he is somewhere, go do it. He is the nicest person I've ever met, besides maybe Jeremy Bullock. Jeremy Bullock is so genuine and so nice, and same thing with Anthony Daniels. Whenever I'll give you an idea, I got to the line for Anthony Daniels, and it was about 2:15, 2:10, 10 after 2, 2:15, somewhere in that area. And I asked the guy, and I was like, how long is this line? He goes, well, Mr. Daniels isn't at his thing. He's at his panel right now. He'll be back at 2:30. I was like, okay, cool. It's not too late. I told my brother, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and wait in line. You go do some shopping.
Yeah,
you know,
15
he's,
minutes, whatever.
yeah, he's got 4 kids to buy for. I was like, go do your shopping. This line isn't very long. I should get through here pretty quick. So he takes off. I go get in line. Well, 2:30 rolls around. Mr. Daniels hasn't showed up yet. 2:45 rolls around. Still hasn't showed up. Finally, around 3 o'clock, he shows up. And instead of like just hurrying back there, he's sans handlers. He doesn't have his handlers with him, which is kind of crazy for somebody like him at one of those conventions, because if you see him out and about, somebody's going to stop him and take a picture, and he will do that too. He's really, really cool. So since he was late, instead of just running right back into the autograph booth, he actually stood out there with the people waiting in his line and like took pictures with everybody who he was one of the actors that they were charging you to take pictures with or whatever.
That's very cool.
Yeah, he stood out there in line since everybody had been standing in line for so long. He stood there, talked to everybody for a while, joked around with a bunch of little kids. It was awesome, man. Just one of the most genuine, like, really nice people that I've met out of celebrities.
Waiting worth it for it.
And made waiting worth it. It was like his apology of saying, hey, guys, sorry I took too long. But mainly what it was is he got out of his panel and didn't have his handlers, and he just got mobbed coming back through the convention. But so went through, got his autograph, and I finally got out of that line at 3:45, so that gives you an idea how long I stood in line just for that one autograph. And went from that. I went to the Star Wars in 3D panel. Actually, I went to that before getting the Anthony Daniels autograph. But if I have to say one thing, that was my favorite panel of the weekend. And I got nice little souvenir 3D glasses too.
Yoda specs.
Yes, Yoda specs. They're really cool. They have a little Star Wars Celebration 6. And then, of course, the real 3D logo on the side. But you can take a gander at those if you want to. But, yeah, they were handed those out. I actually wound up getting 2 pair, one to open and one to keep in package. I don't think I was supposed to, but I did. But, yeah, that was one of the most coolest, most informative panels I've sat in. And I cannot remember the name of the 2 people that were given the panel, but it was just awesome. And like I said, y'all are going to hear me say that probably about 50 more times in the rest of this podcast. It was really cool and it was really awesome. But they sat there, and one part that really stood out to me was they were like, okay, we're going to give you guys a little bit of like an idea how this all happens, how it works, and what goes on. And they actually took it from a 2D format and showed it as it like, what would that word be? Spectrum out to like a 3D version or whatever.
Sure.
And you actually got to watch it as it happened and how they did it, and it was just amazing. And they actually had you take your glasses off at one point so that way you could see it go from non-fuzzy to fuzzy. You know, it was just really, really, really cool. And got to see about 5 minutes of Attack of the Clones in 3D, just footage that they already have done. It looks like they've pretty much got it all done. I would assume that they do, and that they're working on Revenge of the Sith right now, because
they
next
made the
year,
announcement.
Yeah, they made the announcement on the final day of Celebration that Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, will be coming back. Pretty much coming out back to back. They're I can't remember exactly what months. I want to say it's like September and October, or August and September of next year. So. So
you're not having to wait a year.
Yeah, you're not having to wait a year between the movies. So So that was our Saturday pretty much. And by this point in time, I remember Saturday night, I actually had to go down and soak my legs in the hot tub because I was dude, my shin splints were killing me. God, it was awful. I want to say I probably
You had convention feet.
I did. I had convention legs. My feet weren't bothering me. I'd bought in really good shoes, and so that was the cool part of it. But it was my shins, man. So I had to go soak my shins in the hot tub. So Sunday rolls around, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that on Saturday George Lucas was there early Saturday morning, and but you know he goes in before any of the people get there, so no, I didn't get to see him. Anything like that. What was really cool is last time at Celebration 5, my mom went with me because that was, you know, the day before I was supposed to leave. My ex-wife split up with me, so yeah. But the last time when my mom
Celebration!
Right? Yeah, let's go. So the last time my mom went with me, and it was like every place we went to, we were like 5 steps behind George Lucas. It seemed like people like would come up when we walk into the room. They'd be like, "Hey, did you guys just pass George Lucas out in the hallway?" And we're like, no. They're like, he was just here like 5 minutes before you guys. We're like, fuck. What the hell? Well, my mom didn't really say fuck, but I was like, damn it.
That'd be funny if that's what your mom said.
Right. But anyways, so let's move on to Sunday. Sunday, I had entered my leg into a tattoo contest on Sunday at Celebration, which was long. They had it scheduled for 2 hours, and it's like, there's no way in hell this thing's going to be 2 hours. And so we get there, and they had just got to watch the...
It sounds like this was almost done like a cosplay contest.
It pretty much was. Me and my brother got there early for the panel before it because it was a Clone Wars panel. I can't think of the title of the panel anyways, but it was all about the TV show The Clone Wars, and it had some previews of the upcoming season and all like that type of jazz. So we went and sat through that because the tattoo contest was next. And so we get there and they line us all up on the side, which is a whole bunch of massive group of people, you know, and I was like, good God almighty, man. Whatever. It's kind of funny. I don't want to sound bad, but like you look at some of the tattoos that some of the people entered, and I'm like, yes, you went to a crappy place and you said, I want a tattoo, and that guy was like, I'll throw it on there for $40, man. You know, you got a tattoo. And it's one of those, you know, I'm proud of the artwork that I have on me, and I wouldn't.
Well, you have a relationship with your tattoo artist.
Yes, I do, and it's a very good one. But anyways, so I stand in line.
Suck your dick for a tattoo.
Right. I stand in line.
All right.
And the judges to the tattoo contest was Shane Turgeon, who is he runs a website called Tattoos and Toys, and he also has a book called Force in the Flesh, and it's a book all about Star Wars tattoos. It's really, really cool. I suggest you pick it up if you can find it anywhere.
But like a coffee table book?
Yes, it is. It is a coffee table book. I actually own a copy of it. It's got some really good work in it. It's got some really bad work in it. But it's all Star Wars. But it's all Star Wars, and it's really, really neat. I'm not going to say really, really cool. I'm going to say really, really neat. But so he was one of the judges. Sam Witwer, who plays Starkiller and was also the voice of Darth Maul. He was one of the judges. Amy Allen, who played Ayla Secura, was one of the judges.
He was Darth Maul in the TV series.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does the voice of Darth Maul in the Clone Wars. But Amy Allen, who was
because I can't remember the dude who does the voice.
There's Ray Park, who was.
Well, no, he wasn't the voice though.
No. Crap, dude.
Ray Park was the physical body.
Yeah, Ray Park was
the actual voice belonged to someone else.
Yeah.
Because if you heard Ray Park talk, you'd be like...
Yeah. It'd be like... Darth Maul's Ozzy. But, anyways...
The Jedi must suffer.
Right? But, we'll make them all pay. But, I don't know. I got lost.
We'll make them all pay. Right? Yeah, it's more like that.
I got lost.
Dude, Ray Park's awesome, but...
Yeah, Ray Park is awesome, and I have stories I can tell about Ray Park. It seems like anytime him and I are at a convention, I almost like knock him over somehow. But crap. Anyways, I was going through the judges. Sam Witwer, Shane Turgeon, Amy Allen, and I cannot remember the fourth judge, but he is works for Dark Horse Comics and is a writer for some of the Star Wars comics, I do believe. Not even an artist, I don't think.
Just a writer.
So the only person on this panel that has a tattoo is Shane Turgeon. The only person that knows anything about tattoos out of this is Shane Turgeon. So it was just like I was standing there, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna suck. And I'm not too happy with the tattoo contest. And it's not because I didn't win. I saw some tattoos that were very, very, very good. And I was like, wow, dude, like that's good shit. There's no way. I actually didn't think I had a chance to win after I saw these tattoos. Which, like I said, is fine by me. It's the ones that did win that really kind of threw me off. And I'm like, really, you picked that piece of shit? Because really what won runner-up was a dude pretty much had his whole arm blacked out, and it looked like he had taken stickers of starships and stuck them on his arm, and it was supposed to be a dogfight. Technically, almost kind of what I have on my leg, where I have a dogfight of X-Wings and TIE Fighters and a Star Destroyer. This guy had X-Wings, TIE Fighters, and a Millennium Falcon, and it all looked like crap. I'm not gonna lie, dude. His tattoo looked like crap. There was light spots in the dark areas where they didn't color it in very well. But
that would drive me nuts.
But here's the thing. You couldn't tell by the images that the judges were seeing it from, because usually what you do is you walk up to the judges and they look at it from about a distance of 3 to 4 feet or so.
About from where the camera is to us.
Exactly. And from that distance you can get a good idea of detail, good idea of the line work, and good idea of the shading. The things that I look for whenever I look at tattoo work. And this, what you were doing is the judges were over on a panel over here, and you were walking up technically onto a stage over here that they had a video camera so that way they could project it up onto the big screen. Well, the judges were seeing your tattoo on a closed-circuit television going from the camera. So
gotcha.
the camera had a big, huge light on it and was reflecting everything. So everything looked washed out, just looked awful. And I had I'm not going to lie, dude, I take care of my tattoo. I had my leg all shaved up. I had my vitamin E oil on there. It was looking banging, dude. It was badass. And, the image that it was shown was just crazy shiny, and they couldn't really see anything. And it's just like, well, that's lame. So anyways, like I said,
it sounds like what they should have had is like a stage with like a couple steps going up to something, so you could stand sort of above the judges a little bit. So if you had a lower tattoo,
so if you had a lower tattoo, they could see it like mine on my leg, or the people could have walked up to another.
Or walk in front of it if they've got a tattoo on the upper part of their body.
Exactly, that's what should have happened, but that's not what happened. So, I understand the camera, because, everybody's in there. They want to see the tattoos that are in the tattoo contest. And like I said, there was some amazing, amazing artwork that Matt Diffa was there. And that's what gets me is they had, I want to say 30-something tattoo artists working in the tattoo pavilion there. And none of them were judges. Big names, like I said, just Matt Diffa, who is an amazing artist, tattoo artist, Star Wars artist. That it's like, instead you chose celebrities that these guys don't even have tattoos. B, do they even really know anything about them? I don't know. It just blew my head, dude. So I was just like, this is kind of a little bit of a farce and a waste of my time. And I'm really kind of disappointed I wasted 2 hours of my Sunday, because Sunday was pretty busy, and I wound up standing in more lines and trying to get Carrie Fisher's autograph, and I wound up getting her autograph, and I wound up standing in line for another 2 hours. And so there was seriously 4 hours of my Sunday, of a day that you only have 6 hours to get anything on, you know. And so it was just like, wow, crap. All right, cool. So, but it was fun, dude. It was an experience, and like I said, I really just after that I was kind of running around with like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to pick up other things. The one thing that I did get that I wound up picking up, I forgot to tell y'all, I got it on Saturday, but it's awesome, and I'm going to pull it out right now. I bought myself a messenger bag. Now you're saying, now Dave, that messenger bag looks kind of familiar. Oh, well, you are right, because it is Chewbacca's messenger bag. You cannot see it, but it has a lightly indented area on the leather. It's actual leather that says Star Wars. The belt looks like Chewbacca's bandolier. Crap. Actual buckles and magnets for that extra protection when you need it. But yeah, man, that's my favorite. I've got to say that's my favorite item that I picked up. I picked it up on Saturday, and when I first initially bought it on Saturday, I was really kind of kicking myself in the butt going, man, I shouldn't have bought that, because I'll tell you, I spent $75 for it. But it's a good bag. It's kind of dusty right now.
Yeah.
Oops. But
now you can get something similar from ThinkGeek, but
yeah,
that's not the experience.
Actually, what that was, it was the ThinkGeek exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, and I did buy that from ThinkGeek at Celebration 6. But like I said, at first I was kind of kicking myself in the butt about it, and I was like, crap. But
tell me it hasn't been handy.
No, it's been uber handy, dude, and I love it. It's just it still makes me kind of giddy and kind of laugh just whenever I look at it. I'm like, it's fucking Chewbacca's bag. But I love it, man. I do. It's my merce, my fag bag, whatever you want to call it, dude. It's awesome. And of course, carried it around all day on Sunday, and it really came in handy, because a backpack along with the lightsaber poster tube was kind of getting to be a pain in the ass. Oh, dude. Yeah, so I also neglected to say that I also spent a little bit of time standing in line at FedEx on Sunday, because I was like, crap, how am I getting that poster tube home? So I'm going to go stand in line, and, they were really cool, really helpful. Like, I just walked up, and they're like, what are you shipping? I was like, just this poster tube. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. They had actually already done quite a few of them, so the girl knew the routine she had to take. Got it all wrapped up, and she's like, what do you value the contents there at? Because I was like, well, I've got quite a few autographs, and I'm not going to tell you what I valued it at, because I don't want you to know.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Let's just put it that way, because it had Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, David Prowse, Kenny Baker, and Ben Burt, all their autograph on one poster. So I was like, I told them quite a bit, so I go in and pay for it. Would you well, you already know how much I paid for shipping, but
yeah,
just internet, take a guess. I'll be quiet just for a second. Take a guess. What do you think I paid to ship that home?
Do you have 1 second?
$25? No, go higher. 33? No, not 33. I heard you. 40? No, 40. $53 was what that cost to ship that home. But, oh, damn it, dude. I forgot one more thing. Real fast.
Okay.
I got that. Actually, that showed up before. Damn it.
I know. Go get it.
It's right here. I just got to stretch. Oh, one of the things I really waited in line for, and it took a while, but it's well worth it, was...
We need to take that out, because that's going to glare
Yes.
right into the camera.
I got frozen in carbonite. And y'all heard me talk about this on the podcast. I did one of my news stories over it.
The Freeze Me.
Yes, the Carbon Freeze Me experience from Disney. And this is really, really cool. It comes in its own little, almost like star case thing. But it's insane. I mean, technically all it is they do a 3D scan of your head. They do a 3D scan of your head, and it almost looks like a photograph. The etching is so well done that it almost just looks like a photograph of your face where Han and Carbonite's face should be at. What gets me is the details that they've done on the side. If you'll see, they actually have the little screen that, he's in perfect God damn it. He's in perfect hibernation, It's really cool. I've heard a lot of people talk bad about them, but I'm so happy with mine, man. I love it. It's kind of creepy to see myself staring back at me, because how would you say the image on that is, man?
It's pretty good. I mean, other than not being able to get, the 3 feet of goatee, but you can't get the 3 feet of goatee. That's just not. I mean,
and plus
from an engineering aspect, that's not practical.
Plus, that would be so fragile to throw that on there. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is
it's a sandy feel to it. I don't know exactly what it's made out of.
It's a porcelain type,
but it's very gritty
material. Yeah,
and it's
very delicate.
Yeah.
It is very delicate.
But it's my favorite. Besides my Chewbacca messenger bag, that and my Chewbacca messenger bag are my two favorite items that I got. So, but yeah, like I said, I couldn't pass that up. You have the chance of immortalizing yourself, and it's not polystone. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it's just really, really cool.
And you got a cool little rubber wristband.
I got
lit up and
really neat little rubber wristband. So pretty much what I did is I initially paid $100 for a little rubber band bracelet that lit up. It said "Carbon Freeze Me" on the back, and it had the Imperial logo that lit up. And that's all I got for $100 until I got that. Little Dave. But that's pretty much my celebration experience. That's what I can remember as of right now.
So closing thoughts.
It was awesome. At first, I was thinking I'm not going to go to the one in Germany, and then I started actually kind of contemplating it there for a little bit, going, man, there's a celebration next year. I really want to go. I really, really, really want to go, but I started thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, if I go to Germany, I'm going to be drinking lots of beer.
Yeah.
Like, anybody that knows me personally knows that I like my beer. And
I love Star Wars, but truthfully, if I was going to Germany, I'd be distracted by Germany.
I'd be distracted by Germany and not want to spend all my day inside in a convention center. I'd be wanting to go out and see Germany. So I won't be going to Celebration Europe too. But I went through actually coming back home, and me and my brother talked about it, and even still now, I got what I like to refer to as celebration depression, and a lot of people get this. And what it is where you're going like, man, I just wish I could go back. It doesn't feel like it's long enough. I
get that way with Alcon. Well, with Alcon, because that's the only one that I actually get to stay at.
Yeah, but it's something amazing, and like I said, it's a convention that has something for everybody. There's areas where you can pretty much take and drop your kids off, and they watch your kids for you while you go and do adult Star Wars
shit,
things, right? There's everything there for everybody. If you are somewhat a Star Wars fan, would I recommend you going to Celebration? Yes, I would. You're like, but Dave, I really only like the original trilogy. That's fine. There's lots of things for you there. But Dave, I only like the prequel trilogy. Guess what? There's lots of things for you there also. Your casual fan would have a blast. As long as they go into it and open-minded, not saying, well, there's a bunch of nerds. No, man. It's everybody in there having fun, dude. If you have the means, do it. That's the best thing I can say. Do it. It's so much fun. It's amazing. It's the time of your life. And this was my second celebration, and right now I'm counting down till Celebration 7. And I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be in Orlando again, and it's probably going to be year after next, and I will be going. So that's it. That's my celebration.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. You can always write into us at the show at Raddcast.com.
Did you forget there for a second?
I blanked. Always visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/Raddcast, or you can tweet us at the...
tweet the hell out of us.
What is that? That's not a hashtag. What is that? Just at
ampersand
Raddcast Show. And
yes.
That'll wrap us up, man.
Yes. All right. You know how it goes. Good night. Goodbye. We love you, and keep the dream alive.
Good night, Internet.